Hello and welcome to the Scatterable channel, and today we're here at Thermaltake's booth for Computex 2026, and this is finally coming to market and it has an actual name. I don't know if you guys recall, but at CES I was so mesmerized by Thermaltake's dual PC double tower concept that was originally called the View Cross, but now it has an actual name called the Capo X. Capo is kind of like, I mean, there's other ways you can interpret it. One's like a thing you use for a guitar, but the other's like for a mafia boss. And I think that's an appropriate name for this level of a PC case where you have two PCs inside of one case. Again, both are micro ATX. You can fit two AIOs in this. Both of them can be 360 to cool off your CPU, in addition to other fans as well. And again, I mean, this is going to be great for dual PC setups. If you want a singular case, if you're a streamer, if you're in a relationship with somebody, or you want two people on one desk, this is one PC case that can have two PCs inside of it. And if you're a creator or a workstation person who needs multiple computers in one case, this can also fit the bill as well. So finally, the Capo X is coming to market at $189.99. And I assume if you're building this case, you know what you're doing. So yeah, that's one case. Now, additionally, Thermaltake are also making some other new cases, one of them being the Arcus 280 and 380. 280 is their smaller case, 380 is the bigger case. The Arcus comes with 3 included fans. The bigger one, the 380, comes with 5 included fans. And once again, this is just Thermaltake expanding their fish tank lineup of PC cases. If you just need something clean, you throw components into it, it's gonna look good out of the box without thinking too hard or picking out the right fans or the right look for your components. Here's the Arcus. And these are gonna be coming out soon, I think at $119.99 and $149.99. So that was the Arcus, but here are some other new cases that are actually coming to market, and these are very different from everything else you've probably seen so far, not just from Thermaltake, but from the rest of the case market. Thermaltake is bringing these retro series cases called the Retro 360 and the Retro 260. The 260 is a micro ATX PC case. I'll show you some footage of what it looks like, but here's the 360, the full ATX. And yes, these are retooled Thermaltake PC cases, but notice the front here. Look at that. It's trying to give you off this retro vibe where, say you would have like an optical drive slot right here. Instead, there's a screen, and you even have a little like cutout floppy disk drive reader right here. Of course, it's not real, but it's meant to give you that vibe. And Thermaltake, that kind of want to test the waters, see how this case is going to do. Obviously, if it does well, I think Thermaltake should capitalize on this look. Perhaps they should bring a full-on retro case with a few modern bits here and there to make it more, you know, accessible, but with like the old school stuff. But otherwise, this is a cool look from Thermaltake. I'm curious to see where it turns out. In addition to their Retro 360, with this really cute, like, you know, old CRT monitor display that you can just put right on top of the AIO. Perhaps I got that wrong. There we go. But anyways, this is also going to be coming to the market soon. I'm really curious to see how it does, but those are cases. Now let's move on to this new DockPower technology they're showing off. Now this is new from Thermaltake. I showed a preview of this to you guys at CES, but now it's coming to market. This is DockPower. This is something Thermaltake is patenting for only Thermaltake power supplies. And what this does is you can have a power supply unit like this, but for all the connections on the rear, this unit here is detachable. So if we actually look right over here, looks like we can't take that off, but this is a dock module where you can plug in all of your standard power supply cables. But note, it is completely detached from the power supply unit. Meaning, if you check this out, for example, you can remove the power supply from here, from your PC case, but keep all of your cables intact. So if you didn't want to, say, if you wanted to maybe replace your power supply, but you didn't want to go through the hassle of redoing all of your cables, cutting your zip ties, all of that nonsense, this is what DockPower can offer you. You can just leave one unit in here where the cables are attached to it, and the power supply, you can just remove it and essentially hot swap it. So this is coming out soon. As usual, like 750 watt to 1200 watt, 80 plus gold at the moment. I would be really curious to see if this could become some sort of standard for power supplies, although not everyone is swapping out their power supplies here and there. So I don't expect this to be super hot at the moment, but it's still something cool to see nonetheless. But after all, Thermaltake have a patent on it. It's gonna be theirs for a while. Anyways, this is some of their power supply stuff. Let's move on to cooling. This I'm pretty excited about, actually. I know I don't cover a whole lot of budget components here at trade shows. I'm usually showing off the Halo stuff, but this here is an AIO I gotta give it props. This is the Thermaltake VF 360 AIO. It's coming to market soon. This is a budget water cooler. It's gonna come in below $100. But what makes this cool is that here on the top of the cooler block, there's an additional fan. And this is going to put a little bit of airflow to your VRMs, your heat sinks on your motherboard. And I just find that's just a really good use of space on an AIO. And I feel like most budget water coolers, they can be a hassle to work with. They have, rather than a single fan bracket, it's 3 individual fans, multiple cables. The RGB perhaps doesn't look good. But here with the VF 360, single frame right here for 3 fans. All the cables are just, one set, 4 screws. And again, you're giving an additional fan for your VRMs and what's on your motherboard. So if you didn't perhaps have all of the case fans right away or straight away for your PC build, this here can cool off a little bit right outside the CPU. So just making the most of a budget water cooler. So I appreciate that from Thermaltake. Anyways, that is budget stuff. What about the high-end stuff? This here is Thermaltake's Toughliquid and Toughfan coolers and fans. I remember using one of these in an old ITX PC I made for myself 5 years ago, because what makes the Toughfans notable is that they don't mess with RGB, they don't care about the looks, they are just about all performance. And this here is going to be optimized for not just static pressure, but also airflow. These fans are coming in a little bit thicker than the usual. They are 28 millimeters thick, so just a little bit more. And here in the Toughliquid 360 V2, same fans, but the radiator thickness has been increased to 30 millimeters. Once again, no RGB, not busy, not loud, all performance. This is what I like to see. So it's good to see Thermaltake finally updating their Tough lineup of coolers and fans. Now I want to finish it out with some sim racing stuff from Thermaltake. This is a ridiculous motion platform that Thermaltake are not technically bringing to market. They could, they just want to test out the waters. This guy is doing a terrible job driving. I apologize. Perhaps I'll get on it and show you guys how to actually use it, but this is 4-axis motion, very dramatic. Surprisingly though, it's not super huge. It's fairly compact. The actual footprint of it is not that huge, but this is called the GM9. It might be coming to market, but if we move over here, this is the GR900. This is a new racing cockpit that is coming from Thermaltake. Again, sim racing setup, pretty big, pretty dramatic. And then just about the last thing I want to show you guys is that Thermaltake are experimenting with putting skins on their sim racing rigs, which is something I think a lot more brands should do, because even my rig, it's just all black. There's no cool skin to it. So I would like it if there's some sort of color and personality to my sim racing setup. So Thermaltake are experimenting with that. Hopefully they go all in on it, because I think it's going to be a great differentiator versus just all the standard black or silver or metal sim racing setups. But otherwise, that's all I got to show you here at the Thermaltake booth for Computex 2026. We have more footage coming up. Thank you for watching, and this is the Scatterable channel, signing out.